Bonjour, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the War and Beast. As we continue, so it has been a little while. I have been doing other things for the time being, and trying to get other things going. I have launched a video today about my Discord channel, so if you guys are watching this, you should be able to check the channel history and see a video regarding the Discord channel discussion. Okay, so where were we last then? I believe we were over here finishing off the Volkov front, which is not far from collapsing in all honesty. The issue is here really, well, it's not really an issue, it's just the fact that I'm kind of just throwing AFVs away just because I don't really need to care anymore, which is a shame. I'm very much looking forward to winter just to see if there's any challenge left, otherwise we will go ahead and leave. Indeed. I mean, I always intended this campaign. I didn't actually ever intend to win. I didn't think I would win. But basically, this was intended to be like a learning experience that kind of turned out okay. So in the future, after this campaign is concluded, games will be played either in War in the West or War in the East, but multiplayer. Possibly a few different scenarios. I don't know about the grand campaign scenario quite yet. Maybe some small scenarios just to get things rolling. Get used to how MP works, get used to playing against a human opponent. Indeed. So this will be in the future. I hope you guys would enjoy that. Okay, now then, let's start off small and start off easy. So we have the Romanian troops over here. But we do need to have... I'm trying to remember the hotkeys now. Which one is it? I can't recall which one it is now for the garrison. Where are we? Ah, there we go, Shift K. Right, yes, we'll use the Romanian troops as a garrison. Right, some Hungarian forces over here. Okay, now as far as rails go, how we're going. So we have this rail line set up over here. Let's see. Right, we need to relieve these German forces over here. Italians to guard the flanks. Can't go wrong. And there we go. Let's move them off the rail lines. Okay. Right, that'll give them very good supply MP. Let's see, so their supply MP is 0, so they're going to get full supply, which is fantastic. Okay, now the German forces over here. Okay, hasty attack should be enough. Yes, it is. Fantastic. Okay. Okay, now. Into 2 divisions. Right, what do we have in Mozdok? Yep, Mozdok. Some supply and some fuel and oil. Fantastic. Should be enough to keep these forces well oiled. Okay, we do obviously need this core down here at ASAP. Right. Now we do have a few multitude of options here. We could try to surround these forces here, and we would have the 19th Guards, the 27th Guards, 3rd Guard Rifle, and the 32nd NKVD. Obviously these are cores. Another option would be to drive straight towards Baku, which has a few things to say, but it basically prevents the enemy from stopping us. But what I think I will do instead is let's take a look at the actual fuel arrangements here. Right, so we have this motorized corps. Sorry, division. Right, form of this motorized division. Okay, they don't have much in the way of fuel, do they? Okay, so we have the 1st Panzer Army. And then we have the 3rd Panzer Corps. These forces are under the 3rd Panzer Corps. Okay. Now what we could do is... Right. Let's give ourselves some flexibility here. I do need something to hold. I don't need to take a Rosny. Right, there we go. We're protected on our flank now. So that's solid, more or less. Okay. Now we could surround Grozny, which is very, very... has a lot of supply there. It would be very difficult to starve the troops out, so it might be that we have to take them out while there's only a single division and an NKVD border regiment before things get too difficult. Which should be... We need infantry for this. I think what I'm better off doing here is perhaps isolating these troops over here as well. Now, the reason being I can cut off the rail line over here too. So let's see. Okay. Okay, that'll do. Have these forces reassigned. It's going to take some time, it's going to take some administration points, but we do have plenty of both, so that's good news. Okay, the idea here is that we separate and cut off these forces here. I could have surrounded these forces here, but these forces would have been on my flank continuously, and that would have made things much more difficult. Okay, you need to go to the Panzer Army. At least this way we cut off the rail line from the north, we also cut off the rail line from Baku, which should help to keep these forces under control. And obviously they'll still be able to transfer supplies, but what we should be able to do then is possibly next turn, and depending on the amount of fuel that we have, be able to drive on here to try and completely isolate them. I would more or less just cut off their permanent supply source, and should leave them really at the mercy of our forces, really. Obviously, they do have the supply still within the city centres, the urban areas. Okay, so we're going to have to fly fuel out to them. Okay, this will just have to hold for the time being. Unless I pull back. At least then we have the river to help us. Okay. Oops. Right, so there's no transport aircraft available at the moment, which is a shame. Okay, we need more forces in the area. Like, move up the infantry over here. Actually, let's do some reconnaissance first. Let's figure out what's actually going on here. And once more. There's a lot of ground that we just covered. Right, massive forces over on this side. And the good news is we can now use the Romanian forces properly, as there's going to be some room for them to maneuver. Right, what do we have in this village over here of Veshinskaya? Okay. Right, an opportunity here is presenting itself in the future. Possibly an encirclement of the forces around Stalingrad. That could be doable. It seems like the Red Army is throwing its weight to a counterstroke over here. That's not going to work. The thing is, there's just so much distance here, which obviously is perfect for like armed forces, but it doesn't work too well if you are outnumbered. You have to be very good. You have to be very capable. Okay, shift up the front line. I think that's our first priority, and then at least we can work with what we got. Routed. And there we go, that's a breakthrough and a half. Right. So the city of Maram will fall in time. So a call with 2,000 troops. Absolutely pathetic. Okay. Nope, no real evacuation. Okay, we need to prepare forces to move out. And we are pulling back from over here. We pulled back from the headlong offensive in the north. Mostly because there's enough to be gained from over here. And reducing the combat width is pretty damn good for us. Allows us to concentrate more forces elsewhere. Especially as we have overwhelming superiority now in numbers, which is something that is remarkable. Yeah. 4.3 million troops of the Wehrmacht to 3.15 million troops of the Red Army, not to mention the allied forces of the Axis. It's pretty scary now for the Red Army. I mean, it would be remarkably easy to cut off these forces. Though I think what we will do is instead hold our ground for the time being. And the reason being here, basically, the further they go out, the more logistics this takes, the more vehicles they require. Therefore, the more vehicles that break down, therefore the less supply that reaches them due to a distance. Obviously, they do have the rail line over here. So if I could find a way to cut down, that'd be fantastic. So I think that's the priority here. If I can cut that rail line, that should really impede their logistics. Also, I want them to overextend further. I don't want them to just pull back beyond the River Volga and make things more difficult. I want them caught out and exposed. Okay, we need to form up the... potential. I mean, we are close to Saratov now. I could be right on the outskirts of Saratov. Let's move the infantry first. What do we have in this town here? Balashov. Need to sort out these commands because they're all intermingled. God damn it, no. We'll rearrange this. There we go. Ugh. There we go. Seeing if there's a way to turn off the hexes. I suppose not. Okay. So we obviously do have a large enclave of forces over here. We still have this core over here at 170% fuel. Right, so we have a rail line up over here. So we could move these forces via rail. What is our rail? Right, 2,483 tons of freight. That's not good enough. Reinforcements have arrived. The 3rd Mountain Division. Okay. But this is wide open. There's only a single river here, the River Teresa. Aterza. That is in our way to our goal of Saratov. Which is actually looking like a fairly poor excuse now. But there's Saratov and Engels. Engels has a lot of supply there. And then we can finally sweep up from Saratov to Kibayshev. The de facto capital of the Soviet Union for the time being. Okay. Yeah, a lot of these armored forces do need to be moved out. Let's begin that process. We're going to drive towards Kibayshev. And to do that, we're going to assemble the Panzer armies. Obviously, these forces need to be withdrawn as soon as possible. But that should be easy enough once we have this rail line open here. But yes. Right. And they captured a Panzer II-C, and they lost it, nice. So they've lost 163 T-26s in 1931. 504 Mark 33s, well, M33s. 4,969 M37s. 2,631 M1941s. 1,245 M1942s. 476 Stuarts. 52 T50s, 51 T28s, 320 Matilda 2s, 36 M40 T54s, 3991 M41 T54s, 269 M42 T54s. Let's see. Ah, interesting. KV-1S M1942. I do believe that has an upgraded gun, or if not an upgraded gun, a improved turret. Like a rounded turret, it's a little bit tougher. Okay, they've lost over... Wow, they've lost nearly 2,000 KV-1s. Jesus Christ. Churchill Falls. Those are rare. That is a lot. 149,347 rifle squads. Bloody hell. Some incredible numbers here. I mean, you could work out somewhat how much each nation individually has lost from these numbers. It would be a little bit difficult when you could do it. Okay. So we lost 510 Panzer II-Cs, 165 Panzer I-B, 102 Panzer II-Fs. So that's where a lot of the AFV losses come from, the Panzer IIs. I only lost 8 of these Panzer T-34Bs. Interesting. And they call themselves guards. Right, these forces over here. Just contemplating whether it's worth it to go over now. I mean, I could pull off this fairly easily. But what I would rather do is have something meaningful. So what we're going to do here is we're going to pull back these panzer forces to the rail lines, and we're going to begin a process of building up for a new offensive. I need them fueled up, supplied, and ready to go. Replacements ideally too. Okay, well now refit. Could probably do with a better commander over here. He's pretty damn good, actually. Yeah, he's pretty terrible. Okay. Seems like 8 is the highest. Right, so General Lieutenant. Nerding. So 77, pretty good actually. He'll do the job. Ouch. Have them attached to the 3rd Panzer Army. These forces can begin to move out once the rail line is... well, once we have the rail capacity. I'd rather not waste fuel like that. There we go, capture some fuel. Yeah, let's deal with the security situation here. Oops. And we still have these forces hemmed in by Sevastopol. Eventually they may give in. It depends, really. There's a lot of land to administrate here. Here we go. Not a very glamorous job, the Irae security, but it's one that really ultimately assures the flow of logistics and the victory of the troops at the front. These troops can begin moving out next turn. Indeed, same for these. Ultimately, once we do destroy these troops here, what I can do then is functionally just... I could just hold a front line with Finnish troops along here or something like that. Have a few German troops down here along the River Volga. And beyond that, we really don't even need to bother with this area. There's absolutely nothing to be gained in the far, far north here. It's terrible, terrible terrain and just not worthwhile. So, once we pull back there, there'll be well over 1 million men available for use elsewhere. Then we can push up the center and indeed push up into this basin over here. Take the capital, drive onto the Urals in 1943, and annihilate the Red Bolshevik Hydra. Might as well have something elsewhere. I know I said something about, obviously having the troops completely occupy one. But at least with somebody in the other cities, then we do have somebody to respond to something should we need it. Okay, move with these airfields. Yeah, we'll begin to move these forces soon enough. And I do like the Panzer armies for the fact that they are very self-sufficient. Okay. So we gain the 27th Panzer Division next turn, another Pioneer Battalion. We lose some artillery, then we lose another Pioneer Battalion. Some Finnish, added motorized. Luftwaffe Field Corps, interesting, replacement infantry. Then Luftwaffe Field Divisions. Then Totenkopf is disbanded. We should gain back, where are they? Which... Yeah, there we go, Das Reich. I just saw them, Das Reich. Ah, there we go, the Liebenstadter Adolf Hitler. Panzergrenadier Division. They come back. I'm sure I just saw that. Yeah, there we go, Das Reich, SS Panzergrenadier Division. So I'm looking forward to having these guys back. The Das Reich SS Panzergrenadier Division has 17,080 troops, whereas the Liebenstadter Adolf Hitler SS Panzergrenadier Division has 12,178 troops, which is interesting. A little bit weaker there. Then Totenkopf SS Panzergrenadier Division comes back. Yeah, those Panzergrenadier Divisions are going to be absolutely amazing to see. They're going to be tough as nails. Units. A lot of withdrawals. It's the air war that we need to win next. Should be able to do that by damaging these airfields. I mean, once we start overrunning them, then I can start running more bombing campaigns. Right. Let's increase those. Right, they were upgraded. Okay, so we produce about 45 BF-109G2s a week. We have 88 in our pool. A total of 457 have been built. Alright, fuck up with 90. TA. Ooh, isn't this one that was incredibly fast or something? That's pretty cool. Yes, a fuck up with 190D. We can produce about 3 of those a week. Obviously, production is not underway yet. ME210. Right. So 39 Panzer III M's a week, 21 Panzer IV G's a week, 7 Tigers per week. Sturmpanzer. Jagdtiger. Looking forward to having those. Though, in fact, I'm looking forward to having the self-propelled guns like the Hummel. Those are going to be awesome. I believe that's a Panzer III or Panzer IV hull. I think it might be Panzer IV hull. Possibly Panzer III, Panzer IV. I think Panzer IV due to the size, perhaps? Right. So when do we get these then? February 1943. So some while away then. Some while. But they will be awesome. Can't see anything about range or accuracy. Okay. So we're going to go forward. Clear weather for the moment in time. And obviously we're expecting clear weather next turn. Alright, so we recruited 3,111. 25,022. Here is recruited. Okay. So a lot of these different things are being used. Either converted or made outright available for the Wehrmacht. But most of them obviously being converted into armaments or supplies or etc. Well, basically like your small arms and your lighter things like towed artillery, stuff like that. They're converted to armaments. Well, obviously vehicles are just scrapped or converted. Let's see. Right, so this is where we're converting ground elements. Ground element swaps. Yeah, there we go. So the T-26 1937 was scrapped and we gained 21 armament. Which is good. Very good, in fact, really. Yeah. Converted to a Panzer T-34. So it cost us about 20 armaments to convert them. So if we look at our pool of what we have in terms of captured T-34s. Right, so medium tanks, so yeah, you can see here 252 times 20 armaments to convert them. So you can imagine that's a substantial amount of armament. So you can see that obviously converting on, well, basically scrapping other types of AFEs that are no longer used was very good. So 252 times 20 is 5,040 armaments. So quite a substantial amount. Okay. Can I see how many armaments I have in the pool? Right. Okay, production. Where is my armament? Right, so that's our heavy industry centres. There we go. Right, so 44,250 armaments produced in 147 armament factories. So yeah, you can see here that that used 8,850 tons of supplies, consumed by armaments production. Right now. So you can see that's a substantial amount of armaments to convert all those Panzer T-34Bs. Imagine all of these armaments can go into manufacturing like, I don't know, K98 rifles, stuff like that. Everything. Absolutely everything. So we are going to go ahead here and end the turn. Not too much to do. I am going to have the the 2nd Panzer Army meet with the 3rd Panzer Army. Ideally the 4th Panzer Army as well. And I'm going to have a 3 Panzer Army, Panzer Army Gutterman. Drive towards Saratov and Kabaishub. Whatever. And then on to the Urals in 1943. We are coming towards October soon enough. The mud will set in, and then things will ultimately slow down. Which will make things Somewhat boring. But we'll progress. We'll power through. Okay, you can see here the Red Army is just barely over its logistical requirement. So they need 53,000 vehicles, they have 54,000. Right, so in that little pocket that we created there is 3 armoured cores. So I think that was worthwhile. So they're separated from the Red Army's supply lines. Okay. Honestly, don't know what these are. Ah, right, now I understand. Basically, it's looking for areas where it can actually have a good chance of winning. That's what it's looking for. So, that's what the combat numbers are over here. So this is their attack power. Obviously, it has different modifiers, but that's like 319 combat value. In resolution, anyway, with all the modifiers. Lost a few armored fighter vehicles there. Yeah, so this is what I wanted. I wanted them to consolidate and drive more forces in here. The Italians. Can't rely on them for anything. I'll pull back across the river, but at least I have that additional supply. Well, sorry, that additional defensive barrier. Bam, 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 bam. Right. Yeah, so it looks like they're pushing back in the north. That's fine. Funny enough, they haven't taken this. I don't know. It should. If they have all this terrain, that should be automatically taken by them. Yeah, there we go. That's going to be amusing. But these rail lines are still going to be in a state of disrepair, so they still can't use them. Okay. Right, so new state of the front line. So consolidation is underway. We can begin to pull back more troops. We have even more vehicles now. And obviously our vehicle logistical requirement is massive. Right, so at least we can move up these infantry here. That's the main important thing, having the infantry to move up first. Solidify our gains. Right, let's see. Interesting. So there's a huge air offensive down here. The thing is, they're ultimately vulnerable if I sever this rail line. Alright, so they're trying to flank. Now, whether the strength of these forces was even worthwhile, I do not know. Nah, not really. Still like 200 armored fighter vehicles in each, so that's still like 600. Right, so they blocked off my way here. Yeah, see how these forces are now suffering from supply issues? Okay. There's not many of them left now. There we go. Yeah, that game been easy. I'm very happy that it's almost been finished this turn. This means all of these troops will be freed soon enough. Okay. So how many forces is that wiped out? Okay, let's see. Right, so that is another 274,482 forces gone from the Volga front. There's only a few thousand left now. That's taken the Soviets to over 9 million losses, which is catastrophically high. Indeed. 1.7 million men killed. So they've lost additional 443 armoured fighter vehicles this turn, another 3,260 artillery pieces. That's a lot of men. It's a lot of guns, it's a lot of material. Yeah, like you can see here, this takes them down to 2.9 million men. Bloody hell. Soon we may in fact have 2 million more men than they do. It's frankly a matter of time. Victory is assured at this point. It's just wrapping things up. Indeed, they're running out of men. Look at this gigantic opening. Indeed, they're pulling back to better defensive positions, I can't blame them. But I can keep on moving up now. Sure, they can keep retreating, but there's only so much of Russia left now. I mean, we surpassed Napoleon. Still doesn't seem like that far. It's funny, like, The old front lines being over here, I remember these days. What heady days those were. So, until next time guys, thank you for watching, and goodbye for now. I hope to see you all very soon in the next episode. Goodbye, have a great day, whatever you are, whatever you're doing. Until next time.